That makes sense. So there's a mountain that curls around in a fucking circle.
Yep.
What does that mean? Does that mean life goes around in circles?
Yeah. If you wanted to.
That makes so much sense. It's like life is a cycle. See? And then it ends at one point, which is the end of the mountain. Oh shit. But it's just like the end of the mountain, okay?
It should be like the end of life.
Yes, it's like a mountain because it climbs really high and then it goes really low. Like, it's high when you're like...
A baby?
No, it's high when you're like 20 and you're going to like college. And then it like circles around and it's like, oh, it's a low point because you're like failing at life. And it's kind of high again when you're like older and shit, man. And then it's like middle when you're like older. So you're just like, fuck yes, that's how you do it, man.
Kaden, you're not okay.
Then it ends.
And you're dead.
And then you're dead. And then you become this fucking skeleton guy. Okay?
Okay.
You following me?
Yeah.
So you're this old skeleton guy and you're like, oh shit, I died. Okay?
Yeah.
And so, see, he's like, oh shit. And so, okay. So he's like that. He's standing there and he's like super tall because when you're dead, you're like high in life. And you're like, alright, this is the next part of life and I'm really high. Hey, look, there he is again. And he's like, oh shit, I'm the king of the world right now, okay?
Okay.
And then you come back here and he's like, oh crap, wait, no, I'm dead. So.
Wait, there's another picture of him up there.
There is?
Yeah, right there.
Oh shit, and then you're like, yeah, I'm mad because I'm dead. Then you're like, oh crap, I'm dead. Right, I forgot. Oh yeah, the pumpkins, they're like showing like all the peers around you that are dead. They're like, oh, like,
I'm dead too?
I'm dead too, and I'm like, I'm fucking pissed off about it. Like, I wanted to live my life. Like,
But I
spent my life like working, flipping patties and fucking McDonald's and shit. And I'm like, ow.
Don't worry,
and then you're like, crap. I just like OD'd on heroin like my uncle. And then so
wait,
they're standing there like
they're
they're
that.
yeah, my uncle died over a heroin overdose.
Yeah, I remember.
So he's like, they're like, oh shit, I'm so fucking pissed right now because this guy's like, oh shit, my life, I died. And when these people are like, yeah, well, I died over a heroin overdose. My life sucked. This guy's like, oh, I died. And this guy, they're like, yeah, well, at least your life was better than ours. You live long and prosperous. We live short and shitty. So they're like, oh god, like this ghost dog follows you and he shows you around. He's like the entourage of the whole like heaven and shit, man. And so like you find this like zombie guy over here. Find this zombie person. They're like, holy shit, we love each other. And they're like, all right, let's hold hands. And then this zombie dog is with you again. And they're like, all right, let me like escort you to like your place where you get married and shit, man. And so like that takes like 100 years, like everything. So like you're dead for 100 years. You're like walking. You're like, all right, we're married, and that's called the corpse bride. And they made that whole thing about us, okay? No, it's like you and the dead person that's with you. That
when you die.
They're like your soulmate. Like, 'cause if you don't find your soulmate when you're alive, you find them when you're dead. So you find them each other. You find each other, and you're all like, all right, we're good. We're all married and shit. And then you find this like jacket, and you're like, holy shit, this is the jacket of hope. The jacket of fucking hope. You put it on, you're like, holy shit, you're stupid, you're a fucking whore, and you're dead. You're a fucking zombie like that person. You're like, all right, let's go hang out. Let's do a fucking Rubik's Cube. So like, you're doing this fucking Rubik's Cube of life, and you're like,
Rubik's Cube of life.
You're like, oh my god. This Rubik's Cube leads to a whole nother universe.
If you can solve it.
That brings us to this pig. Okay, this pig. This is like a dead person who lived no life. Okay?
There's another picture of Jack.
This is a dead person with life. And then you're like, holy shit, this is a creepy person.
That's me.
Oh yeah. So you're this guy, you're back to this guy, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm the king of the universe, man. But like, you figured out that you have like all these henchmen with you. You're like, all right, do what I say. Give me a bunch of weed and shit, man. And they're like, oh, like okay, let me smile and do my shit. And they're like, and then they come over and they grab it, they bring it back to you, and you're like, oh yeah, my life's prosperous, man. And then you're like, you meet the fucking Ninja Turtles. Okay? The Ninja Turtles, you hire them for your service. They're like everywhere. They're like clones of them and shit. So they're all around you when you're dead. And they'll protect you from like everything. Like fucking everything. Like protect you from this rapist. No, I'm just kidding. He's not a rapist. He's actually a really cool dude. Even though I've met him before. I've only known him for like 3 hours or something. But I think he's cool. What's up, man? That's right. this guy's like Leonardo and shit, so he's like the leader of everything. And he comes over and he's like, "Oh my god, what is Tsubasa? It sounds like some hot dog I ate or something like. It means like giant hot dog in English. So I guess like it's a giant hot dog of memories. So you're eating this giant Tsubasa, which is the giant hot dog of memories. And you're eating it and you're like,
I'm memorizing stuff.
I memorize love, my first love, like the first time I had sex and shit. And you're like, holy crap, that was so good. And you get this massive boner. Just like it's like as big as this fucking guitar. You're just like, holy shit! Like your dick grew like 5 feet, and you're just like, oh, I love being dead. And you come up to this sunflower who turns out to be God, because he looks at the sun and shit. So you're just like, oh God, please bring me back to life so I can make the best life of everything with my love life and everything, my soulmate. So you're like, back to her, you're just like thrown to the ground. You're just like, oh. And then you come back up and you're like, where the hell am I? Am I in like Wisconsin? No, this is Germany. It's like Wisconsin, but with a really bad past. And then this red marker appears out of nowhere and you're like, I'm a fucking Sith. Now let me like wreck all the Jedi and shit. So you're like, zoom, 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 zoom. Then you get this keyblade. It's like, what the fuck is this? I mean, like, what is this open? It looks like a giant key. So you're just like, holy fuck, this is like the key to the door of life. And you're like, and you're like, oh, let's go to like Tarzan and shit. And like, then you get wrecked by this giant like hunter of some shit. And you're just like, god damn it, I can't beat this. So I give up the video game of life. And then you're just like, alright, I'm done with this, and you commit suicide, and you're back to hell in it.
You're back to this
You're
circle.
back to, like, this circle again. Yeah, exactly. You're like, god damn it, I'm at the beginning.
I think we're good.
Okay, I think